So the Penguins bounce back and dominate and win Game 2 by a score of 3-2 in overtime. Sidney Crosby gets his first overtime game winner in the playoffs, something that Marilyn Lemieux never even had. 40 seconds into the game, bang, 1-1 series, all tied up going into Tampa. Pittsburgh's got all the momentum because they dominated that game. So, let's talk about the narratives. First narrative, Crosby had to have that goal. He was going on an 8-game scoring streak without any points. Oh my God, if he doesn't get this goal, the Penguins go down 0-2, and he is going to be the reason that they lose the series. Malkin again, not producing. This was a narrative thrown out by mainstream media, and he effectively stomped on it, squashed it, threw it into the trash, and he got his big moment, his defining moment that he never really needed. Adam Gretz of CBS Sports has a great article talking about that, how he never really needed that moment and how playoff scoring is really hard. What's even more impressive is that Crosby is, I think, 15th or 11th all time in terms of points per game in the playoffs, and he's leading amongst active players. All the players ahead of him are from a different era when scoring was a lot easier to come by. Scoring rates you don't see anymore. He and Malkin are the only active players to average over a point per game in the playoffs every season they've played. Yet constantly the narrative is every year they didn't get it done at the big moments. They're not Jonathan Toews. They're not clutch. They don't come through with scoring big goals. Yet people forget that Jonathan Toews has had stretches where he's not, quote, gotten it done. He's had the most stretches of without getting a point in playoffs. He's had, I think, 3 stretches of 8 consecutive games or more not scoring a goal, and he's had like 7 stretches of 5 consecutive games more not scoring a goal. Playoff scoring is really hard, but Jonathan Toews has 3 Stanley Cups. Crosby has 1, therefore he's more of a winner. Yet no one ever talked about how much depth Jonathan Toews had on his team until this season that now Crosby is finally getting, so he does not have to be the guy to score because he can't pull it out of his ass every game and will the Penguins to victory. It's really hard to single-handedly win the game. For example, last night, the Toronto Raptors basketball team were pummeled by Cleveland. LeBron James did most of the pummeling, but he has 2 other guys to help him out. Basketball's a bit different. You can win a game all by yourself in basketball, but in hockey, you can't. With all the ebbs and flows of the game, you need to have depth scoring in your lineup. You need to have 1 through 4 of guys who can score, and that was evident again right from the drop of the puck. 2 seconds into the game, off the faceoff, boom, Chris Kunitz opportunity, bang, breakaway, nice save by Vasilevsky. Right away, it's 2-0 halfway through the first period. Matt Cullen, great goal from Kunakol, and then we see Phil the Thrill again, who's also averaging a point per game in the playoffs, 35 points in 35 playoff games. This is for a lazy, hot dog eating, fat player. Pretty good, I must say. Pretty good. That's ahead of Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, and all those so-called clutch players. He also played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and his center was Tyler Bozak, so that's pretty good. But yet he's lazy and he's a coach killer. It's another narrative that he's effectively squashed. The Penguins fell asleep for about 5 minutes, and Tampa was able to capitalize, score 2 quick goals. Boom, 2-2, tied 2-2 going into the first. It would stay that way until overtime when Crosby got his big moment and scored his goal. Let's talk about the second narrative, which is that Matt Murray is finally losing it. Maybe we should put Marc-Andre Fleury in. Okay, well, the first goal was just a beautiful pass, and it went over Murray's glove. Not through his glove, it went over his glove. And there's not too much you can do about that goal. It was a really nice play. Great job by Strongman to step up, looking like he didn't miss the beat in his first game back after breaking his leg. Second goal by Jonathan Drouin is a great shot, but yeah, it's a back goal. His angle is off, and it's stick side. You can't get beat through the body like that, especially not when your stick's there. You got to have an angle to put it away. It wasn't flat, and his angle was off. He gave him the whole side, and it's a bad goal. He knows it's a bad goal. And he might have seen Sullivan talking to Marc-Andre Fleury on the bench, saying, get ready to go in. Could have rattled his confidence a bit. Everyone was yelling for Marc-Andre Fleury to go in, forgetting that this guy's not played till March 31st. Yeah, what do? They come back with Murray to start the second, and he shuts the door, locks it down. The rest of the game, solid. He made an incredible save in the third period. Vasilevsky was also incredible, Robin Crosby. But Murray made an incredible save in the third period. Awful little tip by Brian Bowl. Nice and tight, really hard shot to control. And he effectively got the win. And he still overall had a pretty solid game. Yes, it shouldn't have probably gone into overtime. He shouldn't have let in that goal, but he did not let himself get rattled, and he showed maturity. As Mike Sullivan says, he has maturity beyond his years. Most goalies, especially young goalies, 21-year-old rookies, in the Stanley Cup playoffs, in the conference finals, would allow themselves to get rattled. They would probably lose their confidence. They'd sit back. You'd see it in their body language. What did Murray do? He came back stronger, and that's what I love about Murray and this whole team is that their resiliency is off the charts. Every time something goes wrong, they throw it out the door, and they just keep pressing, and they just keep fighting. The Penguins of old would have let them get rattled, and they would have fall back and not played well. Had that happened to Marc-Andre Fleury, had he let in the bad goal, he would have been done in playoffs. He would have sat back. He would have lost that confidence. He would not have been able to keep going, and it would have been a disaster. Whereas Matt Murray battled back strong, was able to get the Penguins the win, and he should be starting Game 3 because he's not given Mike Sullivan any reason up until this point to take him out of the net. Yes, he's let in some bad goals his last two games, and maybe the nerves are finally getting to him. Maybe he's regressing a bit, but he's still not really had a bad game. He's had some okay games. Last game, I thought he ended up playing well. Vasilevsky probably outplayed him, but Matt Murray was good, and had the Penguins have lost the game, it wouldn't have probably been Matt Murray's fault that they lost. So he's not given Sullivan a reason to take him out of the lineup. I would stay with him. He's looked good. He's looked really good, and we might have seen Marc-Andre Fleury's last game in a Penguin uniform. He might not be back next season because, as Murray has shown, you don't need expensive goaltending to win. Fleury's an expensive goalie. Quick's an expensive goalie. LA's out. Fleury's not playing. Dallas had expensive goalies. They were both terrible, stunk up the joint, and now they're out. So maybe they'll trade Fleury. He does have a move, but maybe they'll trade Fleury to a team that needs goaltending. I saw Calgary being thrown out there, maybe because they might want to trade him rather than lose in the expansion draft. Tampa's also in the same situation with Bishop. Detroit with Mrazek and Howard. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see Fleury this series. I wouldn't hold my breath. And who knows how effective he'll even be because he hasn't played in so long. And we all know Marc-Andre Fleury's playoff record not inspire a lot of confidence. Murray's been better this playoff run than Fleury has been his last 4 years combined. So I would not be rushing to put Fleury in if I'm Mike Sullivan. So that's all I have for this game. Please like if you like, subscribe if you really like it. Game 3 goes down tonight in Tampa. I think Tampa's hard building a plan, but I think the Penguins will press, and if they keep playing like they played last game, I think they'll get a win, and I don't think they'll give up a lead if they hold it down. So please like if you like, subscribe if you really like it, share with all your friends, tell everyone, and I'll see you after the game tonight. Let's go Penguins.